Hi everybody, this is Becca from Watch Becca Plan, and I had someone ask on one of my other Canva videos if I would show you guys how to make um, sticky notes and an insert that was two pages, so you could print front and back on 2 pages to take up more room on a piece of paper. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with sticky notes because that's easier than the other one. They're both pretty easy, but I'm going to show you how to do both in this video. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to go up here to create a design, and then I do worksheet. I just start typing it in, and then they have landscape and portrait. For the sticky notes, we're going to do portrait, and for the two-sided insert, we're going to do landscape. But since we're starting with sticky notes, I'm going to click portrait. And then this is an 8.5 by 11 sheet piece of paper design. So what we're going to do is, depending on the size sticky note that you have, most square sticky notes are 3 by 3. So that's what I'm going to work with. But if you have smaller ones, I think they're like 1.5 by 2 are the small rectangular ones. I've done round ones, larger. I've tried a couple larger ones too, and they tend to work really well. You just got to remember to keep the design so that the sticky is on the bottom. So when you feed it in, the sticky is facing in towards the printer. So what we're gonna do is we have our here, I'll do it again. So this is the screen you start on is designs. You're gonna go to elements and then shapes, and you can click see all. And then these are all the shapes. We're just gonna click on the square. We're gonna bring it up, and then I usually just stick it right here for right now and size it to 3 by 3. So it's a little off, but what I've been noticing lately is I need to make these boxes a little bit bigger and make my design a little bit smaller to adjust to the printer's idiosyncrasies with printing on sticky notes. What happens is you print out the template page, you stick your sticky notes on it in the squares, and you feed it back through. And what can happen when you do that is that the second time when you load the paper in with sticky notes attached to it, sometimes it doesn't hit exactly the same way as the template did. So I have been really tweaking and working on making a larger box and a smaller design. So that way it kind of gives you more room to play with. So it just depends on your printer, and since you're doing this for yourself, you can kind of play with it and see how it works for your printer specifically. So that's that box. And then what I do is I go up here to this colored circle and I click on it and I hit no color. Then I go to the lines and I hit border weight. I usually do like 1, and then I've been really enjoying having it dashed. And then sometimes I'll even go in and change the color of the line to lighter so that it doesn't show up as much. And then I just click on the box and go up here to duplicate, and I duplicate it. And then I just stick it next to it. And then I highlight those 2 boxes and I duplicate it again and do those below and then duplicate that again. And now I highlight all 6 boxes and center them between the length and width of the page. So here is our template page. And usually what I do is I duplicate it, and then this is the page that I work on, because you need a template page to stick to a blank one to print your sticky notes on. And then, so you'll print this first page, stick your sticky notes on it, and then print your designs on the second page. When we're done designing the sticky note, we'll remove these boxes from the second page because you don't need them. So what we'll do is I'm just going to type some stuff. You can make you can make grids in here. Go like this and make grids, weekly habit trackers, monthly habit trackers, monthly calendars, whatever you want to do, you can do that. I'm just not going to do it for this video because that would take too long. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to type some stuff. I'll just type watch backup plan. So there's that. So that's our design for the sticky note. Alright, I can't not have it in at least a little bit better. There. I can't have it in at least a little bit better font. And then we're just sizing it and playing with how we want it to look. And there's lines that'll pop up to tell you the center of the box and stuff. So then we'll just duplicate this to each one. And then you can hit shift and select both of those and duplicate them. And then duplicate that. There we go. So now we have our design in all the boxes. So now we're going to go like this and delete those boxes. So now when we print this page, we'll have the boxes for our sticky notes. We'll print this page, stick the sticky notes in these boxes, and then we'll print this page and it will print these designs on the sticky notes in the same box. It's pretty simple. You can get pretty complex with it. A lot of my task list sticky notes, all of my sticky notes were made in here. So all the ones that are in my freebies folder have been made in here. Weekly habit trackers, whole bunch of them. So that is the sticky notes. And then I'll click landscape. This is how to do a 2-page back-to-back duplex printing type situation. Insert. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go up here to File and go to Settings and click Show Guides and Rulers. I already had it on, so I'm going to click it again. So what I do is, this is how I do it. I don't know if anyone else does it this way, but this is how I do it. So I take a box. I'm just going to hide this because I don't need it anymore. I take a box and I size it to the size insert I want. So I'm going to do Personal Plus because I know that right off the top of my head. So 6.75, and they don't get specific with the sizes on Canva. So I just kind of drag it to a middle-ish area and then 4 inches wide. Okay. So then I'm just going to stick this in this general vicinity. And I'm going to duplicate it and stick that next to it. So this is 2 Personal Plus inserts side by side. So this is 6.75 tall by 4 inches, and this is 6.75 by 4 inches. So that way we have 2 inserts side by side. So now what we're going to do is we're going to drag. You just have to click on this ruler portion and drag these over. So we're just going to drag over these rulers and place them. I usually like to do, so for me, I like to do the outer. So this one is an outer edge. This is an outer edge. This is the middle line right here. 5.5 is half of an 11-inch sheet of paper, 5.5. So this is the middle mark. This is when you're designing inserts, you need to leave space for the rings if you're doing ring inserts. If you're not, you don't need these. But if you are designing ring inserts, you must leave space for the rings to go. So this is a guide to help you kind of make sure that your design stays out of the rings area, if you get what I'm trying to say. So, and then a second one for the other insert, which should be 5 inches. Those are the easiest ones to do because it's 6 and 5. Because a half of 11-inch sheet is 5.5. So those are the easiest ones. So then we're going to go up to the top and we're going to drag down this one. And then we're going to drag down this one. So now we have our guides on the sheet. And the nice thing about this is if you duplicate this page, the guides stay. So that's the nice thing about this. So now we don't really need these boxes anymore because our guides are already set up. We have everything we need to make inserts that are double-sided, and like when you print this side, it'll be the same side, same design and spacing and sizing and everything on the other side. So now we need to make the cut lines because these guides don't print. These are just on your screen. So these won't print and you won't know where to cut anything. So we have to make the cut lines. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to elements and shapes and we're going to go to this line. And you can take it down to 1 and then you can shorten them. These are kind of tricky because you have to watch out for the guidelines. And if anything happens with the guidelines where you move one and you don't know where it goes again, you can just do those boxes again. Or you can save the boxes off to the side in here, or you just leave them in the middle if you wanted to. I find it makes it hard when I'm working with these lines because I like to select these and move them around and stuff like that. See? And you can also hit Control Z and it'll stick the guide back to where it was. If you get to it in time. So there's that. And now this one is kind of hard to see, but if you just kind of mouse over it, you'll see the purple highlight where it is. So now what we can do is we can take this, group it, and then duplicate that, and then stick it over here. This is not going to be the most perfect job ever. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get this video out as fast as possible. You guys can make it as perfect as you want when you do it. There's that. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this. We're going to stick it right here. And then we're going to ungroup it. We're going to delete this one because we need, and then we're going to duplicate it again so we have another one already. We're going to take this and stick it right here. So you have a middle cut mark. And you'd want it to be above the insert so you don't see it once you cut off this top part here. This top part will get cut off. You don't want to see it. So you want to make sure that the bottom of this is above this guide right here on the top. So there we go. Now if you shut off your guides and rulers, you'll see that's what it looks like. So we'll turn these back on so we know where to put stuff. So what I typically do is once I finish this and it's to my liking, I will duplicate it. And then I will always work on a design with a base insert if I'm doing more than one design. Like if I'm doing something where I can't just duplicate this design again and make 2 of them to double side print, I will always work with a blank cut layout in my file, because like in my page list, because that way I always can just copy this and make a new design. So that's nice. So then we have our insert. And then we'll just kind of shove a grid box in here for now. This is not going to be pretty. This is not an insert I would ever do or release or want to use or anything. I'm just trying to make this as easy as possible. So say we get our design done. Our design is done. We like it. It fits. Our cut lines are all good. What we do is we go up to this box and we say duplicate page. And that will duplicate the first page. So now we have two. If we go to the page list, I'll show you. We'll have two of the exact same page. And then that way, for people who have duplex printing, it will allow them to print one side and then the printer will suck it back in and print the other side. I don't have a printer that does that, and I did not realize that. I forgot that that's something that happens. I've had my printer for like 2 years now, so I just forgot that was a thing that happens. And so when I started making these inserts, someone had to remind me, hey, will you add a second page in? Because my printer doesn't want to just do one. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a thing. So yeah, that's how to make a two-sided double printing insert. These are really great. I use them all the time. Because there's no way to get I have tried making a custom size insert, like custom size design page in Canva that's 4 inches by 6.75 or whatever size you want. Doing the cut marks when you print, like I'm pretty sure I showed you in a previous video. Doing the cut marks when you're in the print PDF window for downloading it, doing those cut marks and then printing it with two like in your print window, doing it with multiple designs on one page. Multi-printing is what it's called, I think. I have tried that before, but it doesn't seem to work as good as this. This makes it so you're not wasting as much paper. Because when you do that, it takes a really long time to figure out what way you need to make it so that the inserts are on the front is on the front and the back is on the back and they're spaced correctly, and it's really tricky. This way, when you print this will print correctly. Front is on the front, back is on the back. And so if you're doing, the other thing is that now that I've talked about fronts and backs, this will be your front, and then this one will be your back of the insert. So this will be the front, the right side will be the front, and the left will be the back. So then when you print it again, it'll be this. So that way you're right? No. I don't know. Let me show you. I promise I know what I'm doing. Let's just go to this one. So these are the summer trackers I just released last week. Last week, I think. This is how I design them. I'll show you it without the guides. So this is how it looks. These are your little cut boxes. And then this is with the guides. So the front goes here and the back goes here. And I do it so the front goes on both. Okay. Because when say this end goes through your printer, and then so this comes out, and then you stick this in here. This is the first one to go. The second, for the back side, this side goes in first. Then you would need it to be this way. Okay. Brain fart. It is like 1 a.m. So yeah, that's how I design them. That's how I've done all of the double-sided ones. It's the easiest way. And you can use up the whole area. I leave a little bit of a margin on the right-hand side and usually on the top, but we have these little flags here, so not so much with the flags, but right here we leave a little bit of room, and down on the bottom we leave a little bit of room. But yeah, so that's how I make those inserts. That's how I do that. That's how I do sticky notes. No one's really asked for anything else, how I do anything else, that I can think of. I can't think of anything that I do either. Oh, let me show you frames. That was one thing I was surprised that not a lot of people know about frames. So in Canva, you can go to elements and then scroll down, and right here is something called frames. And then you click on it, and they have all of these amazing frames in here. They have basic shapes, which are the same shapes as the elements. So you can do a shadow or whatever you want. But then they have like letters. Watch Becca plan. But they have like letters and stuff. And then you can take go to elements and then go to photos. You can just drag the photos into the letters. There's tutorials online on how to make it so the background has the image and then the letters are white and stuff. I don't know how to do any of that, but I do know frames, basic frame stuff. And like, this is how I made the template for the book log things. I just went down, I think it was 1.5 by 2 was what I did, and that was it. And then I can go to uploads, and I have all my book titles, and I just go boop right in there. How to upload files is you just click uploads, and it takes you to your file system in your computer, and you upload the pictures you want, and then they're all right in here. And then you just drag it from here into the frame. So they have a ton of different frames. They have grids, they have phones, just boop right there. So like, there's a ton of stuff in there. They have picture frames, all kinds of stuff, swishy things, circles, all kinds of stuff. It's really, really fun to play with, let me tell you. I spent quite a while in here. Just like such cool stuff. Like, that's so cool. But yeah, so and that's how you do frames. I've had a couple people not be mystified that I made that book cover thing, and it's really easy to make. And you can make your own reading tracker and then do whatever size book cover you want with those frames. That's all I did, was I just put the frames on Canva, and you just drag it over and put it in there. It makes it so simple. And then you can just print that out and cut it out and have your little book covers. But yeah, that's it. I think that's everything. I can't think of anything else. I'm sure I will, or you guys will remind me at some point of something else I've forgotten. But that's it. But yeah. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And I am going to go to sleep now because my brain is not working properly anymore. I hope you guys have a great, for me it's night, but I hope you guys have a great day tomorrow or whatever. If you're watching this during the day, have a great day. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.